And welcome back to Space Engineers. And this is episode 3. And where we left off from the last episode, we are at the buggy that I crashed after I just built it. So we have to try and rescue this buggy. So I need to run all the way back to the base, and I'll turn on my signals, and it is about a kilometre away. So I'm going to run back towards the base. And I think we'll make a little stop over here on the way, and we will grab a little bit of this cobalt out of this rock here. Hopefully it'll start giving us a little bit of cobalt. We want to be a little bit particular about what we pick up. We don't want to carry back a heap of rock with us. Okay, let's find the cobalt bits. That way, when we get back to the base, we can upgrade our tools, and we'll have better tools to be able to fix that buggy quicker.
Inventory full.
Okay, we're guaranteed we've got a heap of rock. We'll dump off the excess rock. Pick up some more of the cobalt. That's a heavy rock. Oh, almost had it. That's it.
Inventory
Pick
full.
up the rest with some stone. Okay, let's run back to the base and put this in and get it processing. Because better tools will certainly speed things up. And because we're in the fog, it looks like the wind turbines are barely even moving. But luckily, we put this battery on here, so we've got a little bit of stored power. I will dump off all of those. And we better come back down here to the landing pod, because we're a little bit thirsty and a little bit hungry. And there's something smoking here. I wonder what it is. Crouch down. Ah, it's this landing gear. We can't take that landing gear out because the seat's connected to it. Okay, we'll have a little bit of a rest while we have a drink. And a packet of chips. And while we're here, we'll also top up the hydrogen. And let's get making on some parts to fix up the buggy. Drop everything in there. Oh, looks like our parts are made. No, it looks like everything's been taken out of production. So we're going to have to put them back into production again. We want one of these and one of these, and they will make now. Okay, and the next thing we actually want to make is some steel plates. Because what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to build batteries off of the rover to try and flip them up the right way. And the other thing we'll need to do is to select on here, select the buggy cockpit and add it to the build planner, and shift and middle click to put it into the build production. And I also have a feeling that we are going to run out of iron before this is all produced. So we will grab out the new tools and put the old tools in there. Now we will go to the disassembly and we will click on the old tools to get rid of them. It gives us a little bit of materials back. Put it back on assembly, and we're also going to have to go and, well, first of all, we'll put our new tools on the hotbar. We're going to have to go mine a little bit more iron so that we have enough materials to build the new buggy cockpit. When we get the buggy back to base, we'll have to do a slight reconstruct of the back end of the buggy so that we have room to fit 2 gyroscopes on it so that it doesn't tip over on us again. Alright, crouch down, let's dig some iron.
Inventory full.
There's one good thing about the fog coming is it actually makes the night time seem not quite so dark. Dump all those components in there. And it looks like everything actually made. We'll process that iron first anyway. Actually, we might process the stone first. It'll be gone in a couple of seconds. We will grab out all of the parts we need to fix it. That should be everything we need to get the buggy back going again. So we will run back over there again, and I'll fast forward that. And here we are back at the overturned buggy again. Now to put this over, what we're going to do is we're going to put some blocks on here. And we're going to build them up in the air. Get up on top of here. And we're going to have to do a jump. And then we're going to build them off the side. And then because batteries are very heavy, we're actually going to put batteries out here on the end. This lander will run out of. And that'll tip it down. And then as we grind these away, it'll keep tipping. Perhaps. Oh, sometimes things just never go as planned. So let's add a little bit more weight up this area. More. There we go. Now it tipped. Grind them off. Okay, now perhaps I need to add some more up here on the top. Off of here. Can you get one more up there? There we go. And now if we place a battery up here, I wonder if this works. And add a bit more weight at the top. Yes. Alright, jump up on here. Perhaps. No. It's not going to let us jump up on top. And we'll go back to another battery and we'll put another battery here on the side. And remove this one, which gets us down a little bit lower. Back to 4. And we'll actually go from this side this time. Put a battery on the end of that. And slowly allow it to tip. Always fun to try and ride it when you don't have a gyroscope. If we had a gyroscope on here, it'd be pretty, gyroscope and a cockpit, it'd be pretty easy to get it to flip back up the right way. Okay, let's put another battery right up on top of there. And now we'll take this one off. Yes. And now it should come back onto its wheels. There we go. We have the buggy up the correct way. Now we need to put the cockpit back in the middle, which is in the control seats, right there. And we'll copy the colour, Shift and P. Flip it around to face the correct direction. And put it in there. And we seem to be short one computer. How did that happen? And while we're here, we'll weld up all the other parts that are slightly damaged. Oh, it appears I've put the cockpit in backwards. Well, I done goofed. Because this is the front of the buggy here. Well, this is going to take another run back to the base again. And here we are back at the base for a second time. And before we start doing any building, we better top up the hydrogen and give the suit a charge. Oh. Hydrogen has not filled all the way. What is the problem? We are out of ice. So we will need to mine some ice very shortly. Right, deposit everything we've got. And for some reason, we will remove that from the build planner and we'll put it back again. It did not make enough computers. So we will add it again. And put the parts into production. Now we'll also grab a battery. We want the small battery. We'll put that into production. And we need to have an ore detector. That into production. and an antenna and put that into production. Now we should have enough parts to fix the rover, because we're going to have to grind out the cockpit we put in backwards. Are we running short of components? No. Just being slow to make them. One detector component. We must be nearly there. One small tube and 4 radio comms. 2, 1, and all components. Now we will have a quick check in our inventory to make sure we do have enough of everything to build. And looking at that, we do. Okay, run all the way back again, and I'll fast forward the run again. And here we are back at the buggy again. Okay, the first thing we need to do here is grind out the backwards cockpit, because we messed up. And while we're standing up on here, we'll put in a battery in the correct place. One of these little ones, spinning around the right way. Battery in there. Now, this is the front, this end. We want to be on 6. And so let's spin this around so it faces the correct way. There we go. We do have enough parts for it this time. We also need to replace a few of the other blocks that fell off of here. These ones. And then here on the back. Yes, how do we do this? We might actually lay them over on their side. So we lay them over this way. Flip it up the other way. Put the ore detector on in the same way. We can get the 2 gyroscopes that we need. And put them here on top. And is it saying I did not pick up enough steel plates? And that is what is it saying? I did not pick up enough steel plates. And I thought I grabbed the whole stack. Oh, we have used the wrong cockpit as well. That doesn't matter. We'll fix it later. Okay, now we can drive back to the base. And we'll try to do it reasonably gently this time. Because we have even less light than we had before. And we don't have those gyroscopes on there yet. Whoa, the ice is slippery. I wonder what that's targeting at 1.7 kilometers away. I'm new to the new targeting system, so I wonder what that is over there. Alright, well, let's put our buggy up here on the base, so we're up in the light. Okay, dump off all of what we've brought back. And we're going to have to tear this cockpit out one more time again. So I've put the wrong one in there, not being able to see in the dark. That is a real problem. And put those components in as well. So we should have enough parts here looking at that. So I'll grab out everything that we've got. And we'll go to number 6 again, and let's see if we can actually select the right cockpit this time. Let's just say buggy cockpit. And slot it down in there. That looks better. And weld it up. Now somewhere on here we need to put in 2 gyroscopes. Actually, it might have been easier if we had have turned that back around the other way and we could have had them hanging off the back of there. Yes, that might work a little bit better. So we will pull off these 2 items. And I wonder actually if they'll fit on top of the wheels. They will, they'll sit there on top of the wheels. So we'll put one there and one there. And we will stand these up like we had them in the first way. And we need to get an antenna out. An antenna on this side. And this will prevent our buggy from tipping over again. Pull out our welder, and we'll put that on the build planner. 2 of those on the build planner, and this, no, it didn't click it. That one on the build planner. Drop all the parts, get out what we can, and put the rest into production. Well, that's what we're able to. Still quite a few things that need to be made. Having 2 gyroscopes on here will prevent it from tipping over. What we do is we'll set one to override, and it prevents the buggy from tipping, and then you have the other one set to player control, and the one on player control can override the one that's set to override, can overpower it. So that way you can make the buggy move with the gyroscope when you need it to, but otherwise it'll try and keep it level so you don't tip over when you do big jumps. And that should be everything we need to put on there. Oh, we don't have any lights. Do we have some steel plates? Yes, 2 steel plates. So let's try and put some lights on here again. We're going to try and put them on a little bit different this time. Let's see if we can't stand them up so that they clear over that suspension a little bit better. And we do have enough to actually make the lights themselves. We want the light blocks, which are these offset ones. So I wonder if we should put them up there like that. We'll try that. These parts in the build planner. Hold up the little stands. And it should be only some glass and some construction components, which make pretty quick. That seems to have gotten the lights over the top of the suspension. I think that might have been the problem why we had poor lights earlier. Okay, so now we can also make... Pull that out of the way. Production. We want to make some of these grids. We'll make 20 of them. Hopefully that should be enough. And we are out of iron. So we shall disassemble all of those, which will give us a little bit of iron back. And we'll also disassemble that and that. And we don't need all of those. And that's given us some more. 4 more. So we actually need to hop in here and we need to completely set up the buggy once again. We need to call this gyroscope 1. And we want to set its power on 33%. Oh, okay. It's got to be a decimal. 1.33 for 33%. And set it to override controls with everything on 0. And then gyroscope 2 is for player control. And we want to have it on 0.5%. And it has player control. And we want to have a look at these front wheels because that was not turning very sharp. We will turn the steering up just a little bit. Offset spotlights, and we need to put these back into a group. Buggy lights. We also need to turn the to a slightly yellow colour, and we don't want any blink lengths, and that is just ore detector. We don't want to have that named. And antenna, we don't want them there, and we'll have it show the ship name. Okay, now we also need to set up this menu again because we have a new cockpit. Number 4, set that for recharge on and off. Lights for on and off. Water detector on and off. Antenna on and off. And this with the handbrake on and off. Yes, that's fixed that part. We also need to, in this menu here, the ore detector range will have to be turned back up again to full. But for the moment, we'll turn them off to save power. Oh, also the antenna will have been set back to 5,000 and we only want it on 1,500. Now to turn the handbrake off. We should be able to now control the wheels. Yeah, there we go. So we can control the wheels with our gyroscope now. So one's on automatic control and one's on override. And now to weld up underneath, what I'm going to do is come down here and I'm going to turn around, and you can actually help it turn around with the gyroscope. Now I'm going to do a wheel stand up onto the end of the blocks here. There we go. And then press 9 and put the handbrake on. And that'll allow us to get underneath and weld up all of these heavy armour plates underneath the bottom of the... We'll crouch down so we can reach the ones at the back. And we are out of metal grids. And that means we need to go and get some more iron. Back down our iron hole. Crouch down and let's drill some more iron up.
Inventory full.
And we're quite thirsty again. So we'll grab a... Oh, we don't have room. We'll have to grab it another time. Slowly slipping down. Dump all the goodies in there. Put a few more of them in to build. So what is it we're actually out of? Is it nickel? It's not saying we're out of anything. Or is it that we're out of power? So we've got heaps of iron. We are out of nickel. Oh dear. That's going to need a trip to the nickel mine, or I'm going to have to mine up a whole pile of dirt. So what we'll do is we'll go back down to our hole down here and we'll do a little bit of a clean up of the entry and exit way to get a handful of dirt. Grab the drink on the way past. Make the walkway a bit bit wider,
Inventory full.
and that should give us a little bit of nickel. Or we have to go over to the actual nickel mine. We haven't dug a hole over there yet. And we don't really have any way to transport it yet apart from carrying an inventory full. Yes, jump up there. Drop the cobalt with the dirt. Yes, see now we're making some. But we don't get much nickel from a load of dirt. That gave us 4 more. And I'm pretty sure we need quite a few more than that. Handbrake off. Climb back up. And put the handbrake on. I only need 1 more metal grid according to that. So yes, we'll just go pick up some more dirt. Then it's only 1 more grid we need. There should really be enough of it here already. Calm down.
Inventory full.
Make the hole here a little bit bigger. So it's not quite so claustrophobic down in the mine. I need to put a ramp there so we can get up a bit easier. Put that into production first, and we'll let it make 1 more, and then we'll cancel the rest. We don't need the rest of those. We will make some of these though. We shall put a small ramp here, and better make it the same color as the base. That way we can get up here easier. That's much better. Right, weld up our 1 last armor plate on the bottom. And there is our buggy back in functional order again. Handbrake off. And you can see how that wanted to stay with the... Like you can wheel stand for ages with it. But it actually makes it very hard to tip over when you have it set like this. And I actually think I've got it just a little bit too overpowered. Because this only is a very light buggy. I think we need to turn the... Okay, we actually need to turn down gyroscope 1 a little bit lower. So we'll set it on 20. And our actually controlled one is still a little bit overpowered as well. So we'll set it to 40%. I'll have a feel of that now. Yeah, that's a little bit better. It's not quite so overpowered. It dampens the drop just that little bit. Put the parking on. And actually, how long do we have left on the batteries on this? Because we actually have no way to currently charge this thing. To charge it, you actually have to put a... I don't think we have a little connector anymore. Because that is a mod. And there's 2 ways to do it. You can do it with a hinge or you can do it with a small rotor. Where are the connectors hiding? Which, to build one of those, I need to build a conveyor pipe junction. And they will not actually let you connect, and there is no small block converter for a connector. So the best way to do this is to use a rotor part. An advanced rotor part. We just want a normal rotor part, one of these. And you put a rotor part on the back of there like that. Turn the buggy around. And the part break off. Oh, that's much better. We'll reverse it back up again and back towards this battery. Up. Try and get us lined in straight. Now we should be able to see where we need to put this at. No, need to come back just a little bit further. Light brake on. And we'll put the other side on here. And no, we don't want it low. Looks like we're going to have to put it high. And we'll put the rotor on this side. And we need a steel plate for that. And we grind the head off of it. Hold up this bit. Weld up that bit. And I think it's nickel we're out of again. Put these couple of parts into production. All components withdrawn. Now getting these two to connect is going to be quite interesting. Because you can lift it up there. Let's try the front suspension. Drop the height offset down on the front suspension. Should point the rear of the buggy up in the air. Whether or not that's close enough, we won't know. Don't have a control panel here. The only one we've got is this rotor. And we don't have an attached, so it's not close enough. This rotor. Oh, look at that, it is close enough. So now that we're connected here, actually we need to check our batteries because I have a feeling that one of these batteries is not in the list. Toggle them on, toggle them off. Toggle them both ways to make sure they're all in there, so that will set them all back to recharge. So yes, we can actually get it to connect up onto there. And oh, in the wrong menu, we need to go to the front wheels and set their ride height back to normal, so when we drop off of here, we're fine and don't drop onto the deck. Because yes, charging this little buggy can be quite an issue if you it just does not have enough room for a connector on it. Normally put down a little overhead crane and have the connector elsewhere coming down from the top and have a crane from the base so that I can connect onto it. Alright, well I'm going to run down here and I'm going to hop in the seat so that we can get a little bit of rest, because the stamina is starting to get low, and when the stamina gets low you can't run as fast. And that's what we'll call today's episode. And in the next episode, we'll start getting more of the base built up with a full-size assembler and a full-size refinery. All right, thanks for watching. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next episode.